Mr. President, President Obama talked with the Chamber of Commerce yesterday. I think that was a good step, but talk and rhetoric are not policy and not action. It's reported that he received he got two applause from two different lines in a 35-minute address, which is a bit unusual. It does appear that the President understands he has a serious problem with the job-creating community and is willing to at least meet with people, but the problem really is policy and action, and I'm disappointed that he has not gone further to deal in a realistic way with the job problems this nation has. He talked about lowering corporate taxes, but not reducing the burden of government borne by these companies. In other words, he talked about lowering the rate through eliminating loopholes, and some of the loopholes, I'm sure, are not justified. Some of them may be very effective in helping us be competitive and create growth, but just eliminating those and making it appear that the corporate tax burden has been reduced. I talked to Chamber of Commerce and business people. What they tell me is that we're in a competitive world environment. A competitive world environment. And businesses decide where to make products and hire workers based on the cost of doing business in that area. And a CEO North America for an international company in my home state told me that he thought we were going to add 200 jobs in an Alabama plant that he oversees to make a chemical product, but his headquarter company in Europe said no. After considering taxes, we're not going to build that plant, that process in Alabama. It's going to be in a foreign country. In other words, they had won the competition on cost, but another country with lower tax rates on the corporations won the bid. So the idea that you can have a high tax rate is not good. We have the highest tax rate in the developed world. As soon as Japan brings theirs down, which they're planning to do, will be the highest corporate tax country in the world. This makes us less competitive, and it creates fewer jobs. Simply to eliminate loopholes and bring it down from 35 to the high 20s, as apparently is being discussed, does not reduce the burden of taxes on corporations. Many of our corporations are going to have a significant increase in their tax rates, and it'll make it they'll be less able to hire workers. So this is a major issue that I think we've got to confront. It's a competitiveness issue. The President continued to talk, as he did in the State of the Union, about more investments spending. We don't have the money. We don't have the money to do more spending. And I'm disappointed that he has not begun to realize that the day is over that we can just waltz in with a lot of good ideas for new spending programs. And he continued to talk about expanding the role of bureaucracy in this recent speech yesterday in key industries at a time we need to streamline regulations that are killing jobs in America. And he did not call for a vigorous and realistic plan to reduce spending. So, Mr. President, I appreciate the opportunity to speak. I appreciate the President beginning to enter into a dialogue with the folks who create jobs. I'm not suggesting that we need to reduce corporate rates to be nice to corporations. I don't have any brief to bear to try to make it somehow easier for corporate execs to make big amounts of money. But what I do understand is If we overtax American corporations, they'll move other places. Canada is looking to reduce its corporate tax rate lower to 16%. So if we're at 35% and Canada goes to 16%, will that not be a factor in us losing jobs in competition with Canada? We've got to defend our interests.